Yeah, to hear him talk like that.
Yeah, just woke up. I ain't gonna wake up. It's a beautiful day. I ain't feeling your side.
You don't have no integrity, but bro, um, you know, it's a couple TV shows I've been watching too, so like that could have an impact on it. But I just been thinking, like, what kind of a world? How would a prison look that had no walls? You know, how would a prison look that had no walls? You know, how would it be set up? How would you do it? You know, could it be pulled off? What would be the parameters for that to be the case? You know, it's just something to think about. It's a thought experiment. So y'all come with me down this road. You know, I think one of the ways would be the things that you see aren't reality, aren't real. Like, you see things that scare you, that keep you in your place or whatever, keep you from moving around or keep you from venturing, experimenting, you know, going outside of your cage basically, because you perceive a threat, a horror, or something like that. But it's because everything that you can see, all of your view is tainted. So that is a way you could do it. It would be getting in the way of your view, causing your view to be a certain way that makes you afraid. Because fear is a good way to keep people in place. Like, I saw this a long time ago. I saw this clip on the internet, and it was like an elephant, and the elephant was tied to one of those plastic lawn chairs, the rope around its leg, and tied to the plastic lawn chair. And as big old strong elephant, that that lawn chair is not holding him there, but he knows his leg has the rope on it, and he knows the rope is tied to something. So he perceives it as something that's binding him to that spot. So he doesn't even really resist. Like, he doesn't pull to find out that he actually could walk around and go wherever he wanted to. The rope around his leg tied to the plastic lawn chair is enough to keep him right there in place. But to get an elephant to that point, you would have to condition him in some kind of way to get to that point. You know, you go through this process of hurting them, of tying them up, of doing all kinds of stuff, to them, mostly having to do with pain and fear and trauma, until you get to the point where you can tie them to a lawn chair and it works just fine. So I'm just thinking about humanity, and the idea of, civilization, the idea of being civil, um, the idea of living in cities, you know, the idea of, you know, what do they call it, progression or whatever, living in the future, like modern times, and how much trauma, conditioning, and fear goes into keeping people kind of stuck in a loop and just paying their bills, going to work, repeat, you know, and you get your little escapes. Even your escapes aren't real. Like, you watch TV shows and sitcoms, and you get stuck in sitcoms or whatever, and then you're waiting for the next show and all of this stuff. It kind of gives you something to look forward to, and then some of the shows, they get into your mind. Like I was thinking about, like, I don't really watch ads. I avoid ads as much as possible, and I pay a lot of money to not see as few ads as possible throughout my day. And a certain way I live, certain things I do is as a result of me trying to avoid these ads. But even the TV show itself, kind of has that same impact as an ad in a lot of ways. And like within the shows, within the movies, you have ads. And so I just think that, we get lost in our loops. And that's the idea that I'm losing myself. The world prison thing. I guess I'll come back to it because I got distracted and my brain just got fried. So forgive me, y'all. Can y'all hear me? Let me check. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Yeah, so I got lost. I'm sorry. Forgive me. We'll come back to that. I was watching this show called Silo. It got me thinking about it. This other show called Severance. Thinking about how, living in a prison and not even knowing it. Pretty scary to be in a prison. How do you escape from a prison that you don't even know is there? Like, and there's no walls. It'd be pretty difficult to escape that.
Looks like we got us another hit.
So, let's look at this. Am I sharing? Yes. It says,